Also, for example, in the auto industry, if I'm interested in cars, I could turn on the fact that I'm interested in cars, and GM, within context of my searches for an automobile or something else like that, could provide me the necessary information I wanted by being able to click through their tab and then pull up an entirely different set of context around my experience with that company. Again, because I've shared my intention, they have aspects of my identity, and they can tie that to information so that what they present me is relevant to me and meaningful. So those are just some of the examples of things we're envisioning that we could all do together. And we have lots of customers at Acxiom. We're a $1.3 billion company. We're the leading provider of marketing services to consumer-facing businesses. And any ideas that you may have thought of or you think of in the next few weeks based upon this presentation, please reach out and talk to us. But I think this is really going to work because it comes down to what's in it for me, right? As a consumer, speaking for myself, I'd like to hear some feedback from you guys. I would participate in this type of network because I can move from being anonymous, I can share the information I want, I get relative information, and I get timely offers. And it gives me the ability to exchange that for value. That value could be a discount. That value could be a personalized experience, loyalty rewards. I could, in fact, encourage people to donate a percentage of my purchases to my favorite charity within this ecosystem because I'm exchanging information for value, and I can demand, or articulate what I want in return. I think it's valuable for businesses because it creates a platform that allows businesses and ad networks to dynamically respond to and personalize consumer experiences based upon their accurate but anonymous profiles, and it also allows them to understand their market preferences. So, of course, that dramatically improves their return on investment. So the things that we're doing here and we're able to do with this Kynetx platform is really critical, and I think it can help us in this fundamental shift from a track and target ecosystem into what I call opt-in and win, or an intent and relate environment. So again, we got to consider identity, intention, and information. And the bottom line, by sharing that while respecting people's privacy and preference, I think is going to move us into the future. So thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad. We have time for just two questions. Two questions. Anyone have a question for Mr. Engelgau?
Yes.
Can you talk about any specifics of Kynetx applications that you've done integrations with to date?
Can we legally talk about any of these? Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So there are a number of projects in work. There's a number of projects primarily focused on loyalty networks, improving interactions around loyalty networks. So if you look at the travel and entertainment industry, there's a huge opportunity for the exchange of your information through your loyalty network to then be provided with very time relevant and specific property or location bound offers from these individuals. There's also areas, as I showed you, around the media environments where media companies really want to take that relationship that you have with them across their multiple properties and really begin to expand on it by integrating your identity, your intention, as well as your information in order to make everything much more personalized. We're doing that for a number of entertainment properties. I think finally there's even companies who you wouldn't necessarily consider interested in these areas, such as credit card companies, who are very interested in creating a differentiated experience for their users because they're so pervasive around the web and consistently reminding individuals that they could use their card in exchange for benefits or discounts, and doing that through the Kynetx platform. So those are three non-client specific, but areas that we're currently involved with and working with customers on deploying.
Great. One more question.
Abilitech?
What does that provide for end user, and how does the end user opt in, and how's the information? I think you explained about the information, but
yeah.
That's it.
Good question. So Deshaun mentioned Abilitech. Right now, Abilitech is really a business-to-business service. Again, we proactively manage people's identities, and we bounce your information against ours, whether it's a name and an address, a name and an email, name and a phone number. And once you give us that information, we'll return a link. What that link allows you to do is look across your data set now and determine, again, that Julie Hawthorne in California is actually Julie Engelgau in Texas. So now you don't need to market to 2 individuals, you need to market to 1 person, and you need to update and associate all the information you have around those 2 individuals, for example, with 1 person and make a more relevant and time-bound decision with that. What we're suggesting here, but we don't offer yet, is turn this service upside down. So instead of us collecting information about people, having consumers opt in and participate in this process so that they can manage their information. So that's under consideration right now, not currently available, but in this ecosystem would be available for this business network where we can embed that, and we can then use that to append the information that I showed you and proactively use that to manage identities based upon an email address, for example. So good question. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully it sparked some ideas for you today.
Thank you, Chad.